The science fair has been running for 55 years at TechVoc Vocational Schools. And one of the big awards that these two won was the Junior Science Innovator Award. So I'm talking about twins Leo and Sammy Marcus. They conducted their experiment titled The Royal Flush, Are Washrooms Dangerously Loud? Their ongoing research asks the questions, are public bathrooms dangerously loud for the ears? They are grade 8 students from École River Heights. So Leo is in studio with us now. Good morning, Leo.
Hello.
And Sammy's here as well. Hi, Sammy.
Hello.
So who named this the Royal Flush? Like, fun name. Where'd you guys get the name from?
A combination of a lot of time and general discussion. I believe it originally came from our father.
Got it.
We tried to make it catchy, and we thought that the Royal Flush was a good name, so that's why we chose it.
It's a fantastic name. How's it feel to win this big award?
It feels great. It's nice that we were able to get this award because it's for applications and implications on science fair projects and how it can be applied to the real world. And the point of our project is spreading this information that washrooms are dangerously loud. So getting this award really helps that, and it shows that what we can do to help this will actually help.
Yeah, and that's important because you're actually helping people. So people might think this is a cool concept, but this came, Sammy, because it was inspired by something that has to do with your own life, right? So tell me a little bit about why you wanted to look into this.
So I have sensory processing disorder, and when I was younger and when many people are very young, they find washrooms incredibly loud. And they find them scary or painful, and they do not want to be in those washrooms because of that, in public washrooms because of that. So what I wanted to see was I wanted to know if what I was feeling and what other people was feeling was actually founded in what the sounds the devices were making, or if it was just, it was loud, but it wasn't actually loud enough to cause the harm that we believed was going on.
Got it. So that was your whole, that's what you set out to achieve and look into. Sensory processing disorder. Does it mean that you're sensitive to all different types of sounds, or tell me a little bit about what that feels like?
It means I am sensitive to sounds as well as feelings and things I can see. Another thing that's really problematic for me is flashing. Okay. So things along those lines, if there's enough of it, so if it's very loud, if it's very bright, if it's very startling. And
overstimulating them.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's overstimulating, I have a hard time keeping control of myself.
And a bathroom's got flushing toilets, and then let me think here. There's running water, there's air dryers, right? Hand dryers. So how did you do this experiment?
So we would go to paper towel dispensers, hand dryers, urinals, and toilets. We would take out our decibel meter.
Show us that, because you brought it in there. Yeah.
This is a decibel meter.
Okay.
It records, we have it record the high sound for our 5 to 10 second duration, 30 to 35 centimeters away from the device. So we go up to these devices. We take out our tape measure and we measure 33 inches, which is the average 3-year-old ear height. We test our height at start of study, 53 inches. We tested average adult female ear height, which is 59 inches, and 63.5 inches, which is the average adult man ear height. So we would test all those with our decibel meter.
Got it.
And we would write it down, as well as the location, date, and what brand of device it was.
So you recorded all the variables.
Along with any variations.
Got it. So how many bathrooms did you visit, to do this experiment and over,
I don't know the exact number of bathrooms because there are often multiples of each kind of device per bathroom, but we tested 289 devices and made 1,277 measurements.
Wow.
And that's divided by about 2 to 10 in total.
So I asked you guys this off the air, but I was curious, so I'm going to ask just again. So what did people think when you were standing in there with the device you're looking at here? Just so radio listeners know, it looks like it's just a small little size of a phone. Maybe it's got obviously a microphone at the top of it to record the sound data, but you're going to have to be holding this up and standing in the bathroom. So what were people thinking? Were you hiding in a stall when you were doing this, or what?
along with the decibel meter, we also had a tape measure, a clipboard, lots of sheets of paper, and a pen with us, along with the bag to carry it all in.
So what did everybody think?
So the most interesting thing someone said to us is when we were testing at our school, someone walked into the bathroom, looked at us testing in front of one of the urinals, and said to one of their friends who was also entering the bathroom, "Bro's testing the urinals."
And then ran out as fast as he could.
I'm guessing so, yeah. You guys got to know, though, when to test. You were saying that you got to know when bathrooms are busy and not, and you kind of sneak in there and do your tests.
Yeah. So Saturdays and Sundays are very quiet compared to the rest of the days of the week. Plus, if you go at really weird hours, like not during lunch times or before people get into work or after, there's not that many people using the washrooms. And if you go to obscure places in the middle of nowhere in the University of Manitoba or other places like community centers, residences, malls,
libraries.
You'll find a quiet spot.
Yeah, you find a quiet spot.
Now, you guys were looking for the loud spots, though. So what did you find with your research?
So we found that washrooms were dangerously loud for the human ear. Toilets were dangerously loud for short-term exposure.
Specifically tankless toilets.
Yeah. Urinals were dangerously loud over long exposure. Specifically flush urinals. Waterless urinals are mostly safe because they do not flush. And we also found that paper towel dispensers, roll paper towel dispensers were incredibly loud, but pre-fill paper towel dispensers were quiet and safe.
Okay.
And all hand dryers are dangerously loud.
All of them.
All of them.
Got it. Okay. So you guys tested different ones, and you found all these findings. Did anything surprise you in the findings, Sammy?
I did not find anything particularly surprising. However, I found the fact that our hypothesis was so spot on so much of the time, surprising in a really scary way, because we hypothesized that these devices would produce sounds that would be dangerously loud, and that was so almost all of the time. There are specific kinds of devices that are safer, but almost every device had dangerously loud variables.
How do you hope it might help moving forward, especially given that for you with your sensory processing disorder, you know what that feels like to be overwhelmed and that, the dryers going and everything happening. How do you hope that your research might help in the future?
In the future, I hope our research can be used and applied in certain ways. There's already legislation in place for work safety, and you must have hearing protection if a sound is dangerously loud. Since people do work in bathrooms, I think that there should be hearing protection provided if those devices do produce sounds that are dangerously loud. Along with that, I hope that our recommendations to use tank toilets, waterless urinals, and pre-filled paper towel dispensers can be used by washroom planners, so anyone installing devices in a washroom in the future, so that more people are comfortable in those spaces.
What does it feel like, Leo, to have the University of Manitoba interested in what you and your brother have done here?
It feels great that the vice provost of
Equity and inclusion
has been really interested in this and wants to improve. It's really nice that she asked for our data because we really want to spread this information and fix the issue.
How do you feel that it helps your brother? I mean, you guys are twins, you're brothers, you're working together. So this is effectively motivated by something that's going to help him.
Yeah. It's really important that people with hearing sensitivity, including Sammy, and just young people in general, have this hearing sensitivity. Have
the protection.
So it's less dangerous, less painful, and better for them.
I really love that you guys finish each other's sentences. That's a twin thing. Are you going to stay science and interest in science and data? Like, do you see yourself doing this into the future? You guys, obviously, the future's bright for whatever you want to do. But what are you thinking?
I really enjoy science, especially science fair, and I would love to continue things like this and this project because I think science is helping our world and important.
How about you, Sammy?
I personally would not like to continue this project because I would like to spend less time in bathrooms. But other than that, I would like to continue in science, and I like science as a form of discovering how little humans actually know. So I want to learn how minuscule human knowledge actually is.
I love that. I love that. Before you guys go, because you brought in the sound device, I mean, the data in the numbers may not translate all that well over radio, but I'm just curious, like if I clap my hands, does that register? And like what
Yes.
number
Yeah.
would... So should I do it again?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, ready? I'm going to go.
It says it is at 94.7 decibels. So if you did that for about 8 hours, it would cause hearing damage.
Oh, well, we will not be doing that for 8 hours.
More like 4 hours. But so our loudest hand dry we measured was 128 decibels. So
Wow, okay.
imagine that for 10 seconds at that loud.
It would cause hearing damage nigh instantly.
Yeah. Thank you both for being here. Congratulations on all of your success in your experiment. Really nice to meet you both.
Thank you.
That is Leo and Sammy Marcus live in studio with us. They are twins. They are brothers. They're 13 years old. They've just won the Junior Science Innovator Award at this year's Winnipeg Schools Science Fair, and their research has garnered attention from the University of Manitoba.